Welcome back. Tonight, we are trespassing into forbidden territory of the narcissist mind, a place you have likely spent years trying to escape, yet find yourself curiously drawn back to in the quiet hours of the night. You have been gone for a long time. The dust is settled. The silence between you is thick and heavy. But in that silence, a question burns with the intensity of a fever. Do they ever think about me? You see them moving on, smiling in photos, seemingly erasing your memory. You worry that you were nothing more than a blip on their radar, easily replaced and forgotten. But I am here to tell you that this fear is a lie. The narcissist does not forget, they archive. And right now, in the dark corners of their psyche, you are not erased. You are haunting them in ways they will never admit. The passage of time works differently for a narcissist than it does for you. For you, time is a river that moves you toward healing and evolution. For them, time is a stagnant pool. Even after long separation, years, perhaps decades, you remain a fixed object in their internal landscape. They do not view you as a person who has grown, changed, or aged. To them, you are a snapshot, frozen in the moment you provided them the most potent supply or the moment you inflicted the ultimate injury by leaving. They are walking around today, interacting with new people. But in their head, they are still having arguments with you that ended 5 years ago. You might believe that their silence means they are happy. You interpret their lack of contact as proof that they have found someone better, someone who doesn't make them crazy like they said you did. This is the propaganda of the abuser. The truth is, the narcissist is incapable of moving on in the emotional sense because they never truly resolve anything. They just bury it. You are currently buried in a shallow grave in their subconscious, and every time their current life disappoints them, which happens constantly, they dig you up. They compare the current source of supply to you, not because they love you, but because you are the yardstick they use to measure their current dissatisfaction. There is a specific, secret thought loop they run about you. Why hasn't she come back begging? Narcissists are plagued by a pathological arrogance that tells them they are unforgettable gods. The fact that you stayed away for this long is not interpreted as your strength. It is interpreted as a personal insult. They think you are punishing them. They believe you are playing a game of hard to get that has gone on too long. They do not respect your no contact. They view it as a temporary rebellion, that you will eventually surrender. The thought that you might actually be done is a terrifying reality they refuse to fully accept. They think about your resources. Narcissists are utilitarian parasites. When they think of you now, they don't remember your laugh or your kindness. They remember what you did for them. They miss the way you organized their life, the way you smoothed over their conflicts, the way you lent them money, or the way you made them look good in public. They are currently thinking, my life is harder now because I don't have that servant anymore. It is not a longing for connection. It is a frustration of a master who has lost their most efficient slave. They are angry that they have to do the heavy lifting of their own existence. They are convinced you are miserable without them. This is a necessary delusion for their survival. If they admitted to themselves that you are thriving, happy, and peaceful without their chaos, their entire false self would collapse. So, secretly, they tell themselves a story. She's faking that smile. He's only with that new person to make me jealous. They are crying themselves to sleep every night, missing me. They project their own misery onto you. They need to believe you are broken, because if you aren't broken, then they were not the all-powerful center of your universe. They stalk you. Do not let the lack of likes or comments fool you. They are watching. They have fake accounts. They use friends to spy. They check your status updates. But here's the dark twist. They aren't looking for good news. They are hunting for evidence of your failure. They scroll through your feed hoping to see a breakup, a job loss, or a bad hair day. When they see you succeeding, it causes a visceral narcissistic injury. They look at your joy and feel a spike of envy, so sharp it feels like physical pain. They think, how dare they be happy when I am feeling this empty? They rewrite the history of your breakup daily. In their mind, they have crafted a revisionist history where they're the victim and you are the villain. After a long separation, this narrative has calcified into absolute fact for them. They truly believe the lies they told the smear campaign. They think, I gave him everything and they abandoned me. They hold on to this grievance like a shield. It protects them from the crushing guilt of knowing they destroyed the best thing they ever had. They don't miss you. They miss the version of themselves that felt righteous while abusing you. They view you as a phantom limb. You are gone, but they can still feel the itch. Because they never integrated you as a separate human being, but rather as an extension of themselves, your absence feels like an amputation. They walk through their life feeling off balance. They try to attach new prosthetics, new partners, but nothing fits quite right. They think about you in moments of frustration with a new supply, idealizing the good old days, which were actually abusive, and blaming the new person for not being you. As we set the stage for the psychological deep dive, understand this. You are not forgotten. You are the ghost that haunts the castle they built on sand. They are terrified of your memory because it holds the truth of who they really are. You are the witness to the crime, and even though you are miles away, your existence is a constant threat to their false reality. They don't just think about you. They are obsessed with the idea of you, and that obsession is slowly driving them mad. We must now dissect the specific mechanism of object constancy and how it fails in the narcissist's brain. Healthy people can hold a consistent emotional image of a loved one, even when they are absent or when there is conflict. The narcissist cannot. Out of sight, out of mind is only partially true for them. When you're out of sight, you cease to be a person and become an introject, a static object inside their head. After a long separation, they interact with this introject, not the real you. They have conversations with this imaginary version of you, winning arguments in the shower that they lost in real life years ago. They are thinking about your utility value. Narcissists are transaction-based creatures. They do not reflect on emotions. They reflect on investments. They look back at the relationship and calculate the return on investment, ROI. I spent 5 years training her, and now someone else is benefiting. They view you like a house they renovated and then got evicted from. They feel a sense of ownership entitlement. They think, that is my partner. That is my supply. The thought that another person is enjoying the fruits of your labor enrages their sense of proprietary control. Deep down, beneath the rage and the delusion, there's a flicker of secret admiration. This is the most twisted part. They abuse you because they envied you. They envied your light, your empathy, your resilience. Now that you have survived them and stayed away, that envy has turned into a begrudging respect that they will take to the grave. They think, they actually did it. They actually walked away from me. This realization shatters their belief that you were weak. They realize you were stronger than them all along, and that thought is a humiliation they cannot process. They are haunted by the unfinished business. Narcissists need to win. The discard is supposed to be the final winning move. But if you went no contact, or if you thrived after they left, the game remains unfinished in their mind. They feel a lack of closure, not emotional closure, but winning closure. They think, I didn't get the last word. I didn't break them completely. This lack of total destruction gnaws at them. They fantasize about running into you one day just to deliver a final, crushing line that will put you back in your place. They project their shadow self onto your memory. All the shame, the cruelty, and the deceit they possess, they attribute it to you. When they think of you now, they convince themselves that you were the narcissist. They tell themselves, he was so controlling, she was so manipulative. This projection is a defense mechanism. By making you the monster in their memory, they can remain the innocent victim. They construct a reality where escaping you is a survival story, flipping the script entirely to avoid facing their own darkness. They are terrified that you have the evidence. They know what they did. They know the illegal things, the immoral things, the cruel things. Even after years, they live in a low-grade paranoia that you will expose them. They think, does she still have those texts? Did he tell his new wife about the money? They view you as a dormant volcano that could erupt at any moment and destroy their new reputation. This fear keeps you at the forefront of their mind. As a threat assessment, they must constantly monitor. They experience hoovering fantasies. Even if they never reach out, they play out the scenario in their head. They imagine calling you and hearing you cry with relief. They imagine showing up at your door and you falling into their arms. These fantasies serve to replenish their ego. They need to believe that the door is always unlocked, even if they never intend to walk through it. The thought that you might have changed the locks, metaphorically and literally, is a reality they aggressively deny. They compare you to the new supply, to devalue the new supply. When the new partner asks for intimacy or accountability, the narcissist thinks, my ex never asked for this. This is a lie. You did, but they rewrite history. They use your memory as a weapon to beat down the current partner. My ex was so much more understanding. They triangulate the new partner with a ghost of you, making you an impossible standard of perfection that you never were allowed to be when you were actually there. They wonder if you have figured it out. Narcissists rely on your ignorance. They rely on you thinking it was just bad communication or incompatibility. But after a long separation, They fear you have discovered the vocabulary of abuse. They fear you have watched videos like this one. They think, does she know I'm a narcissist now? Does he realize it was all a manipulation? The thought that you have decoded their playbook strips them of their power. They prefer you confused and heartbroken, not educated and empowered. Finally, in this psychological breakdown, understand that they think about you as the one that got away, but not romantically. To a fisherman, the one that got away is a prize fish, not a lover. They think of you as a trophy they lost. They miss the status you gave them. They miss the way you made them look normal. They are angry at their own clumsiness for dropping the mask too soon or pushing you too hard. It is regret over a lost possession, devoid of any humanity or love. The turning point in the narcissist's mind comes when they realize that your absence is permanent. For the first few months or even years, they bank on your codependency. They counted on your addiction to them. But as the timeline stretches into the long term, a cold dread sets in. The silent treatment they thought they were giving you has backfired. You are the one giving them the silence. This shift in power dynamics is catastrophic for their ego. They realize they are not the protagonist of the story anymore. They have been written out of the script entirely. This realization triggers a narcissistic collapse of the internal image they held of you. You transform from the loyal supply to the ultimate betrayer. The love they claim to have turns into a pitch-black hatred. They think, how dare you exist without me? This hatred is fueled by impotence. They cannot punish you anymore. They cannot gaslight you anymore. They are screaming into a void, and for the first time, the void isn't echoing back. They begin to aggressively paint you black to anyone who will still listen. Even after years, they might bring your name up out of nowhere to smear you. This is because they are trying to exorcise the ghost of you. They need validation from others that you were the problem. Can you believe she still hasn't apologized? Apologize for what? Escaping? They are desperate to recruit flying monkeys to validate their delusion because their own internal conviction is starting to waver under the weight of your silence. They experience retroactive devaluation. They look back at the memories you shared, the vacations, the intimacy, the gifts, and they strip them of meaning. They convince themselves that you were faking it the whole time. He never really loved me. He was just using me. This projection is absolute. They have to destroy the past because the past proves they failed. If the relationship was real, then losing it was a tragedy. If they decide it was fake, then losing it doesn't matter. They choose a lie to save the ego. They start to future fake with themselves. Since they cannot control the present reality regarding you, they fantasize about a future retribution. They think, one day, she'll crash and burn and she'll come crawling back. They hold on to this vindictive hope like a lifeline. They need to believe that karma will hit you for leaving them. It is a twisted inversion of reality where the abuser waits for the victim to be punished for escaping the abuse. The new supply starts to feel the heat of your memory. Because the narcissist is obsessing over your absence, they become emotionally unavailable to the person right in front of them. They are physically present but mentally stuck in a court case with you. The new partner senses this ghost and tries to compete, which only makes the narcissist despise them more. You are destroying their current relationship simply by being an unresolved issue in their mind. They struggle with identity erosion. You held a significant piece of their identity. Maybe you were the one who made them feel like a good parent or a successful artist. Without you, that mask is slipped. They look in the mirror and see the cracks. They think, I was better when I was with them. But they don't attribute this to your support. They attribute it to you stealing their mojo. They believe you took their luck with you when you left. They feel a sense of existential boredom. You provided high-level drama and high-level love. The narcissist thrives on intensity. Without the intense dynamic they had with you, life feels beige. The new supply is likely easier to control, which makes them boring. They secretly crave the fights, the make-up sex, the chaos you participated in. They think, nobody challenges me like they did. They mistake toxicity for passion, and they are bored by the peace they claimed they wanted. They check the block list. They periodically check to see if you have unblocked them. When they see the block is still in place, it stings fresh every time. It is a digital door slammed in their face repeatedly. They think, who does she think she is blocking me? The block is the ultimate assertion of authority, and it reminds them daily that they have lost the jurisdiction they once held over your communication channels. Ultimately, the turning point is the solidification of their victimhood. They stop seeing themselves as a powerful discarder and start believing they're the tragic survivor of your cruelty. This is a narrative they will take to their deathbed. I love them so much, and they just walk away. It is a tragedy of their own making, but they will play the violin until the strings break, demanding an audience for a pity party that you are no longer attending. We now enter the secret hell of the narcissist's long-term separation reality. The thoughts they have now are darker, more desperate, and tinged with the decay of aging. They look at their life and realize the pattern. Everyone leaves. You left. The ones before you left. The ones after you are leaving. But because they cannot take accountability, they conclude that the world is broken, not them. They think there are no good people left. They become bitter, cynical, and isolated, rotting from the inside out with resentment. They are terrified of the comparison. They know you have leveled up. They know you are likely healthier, wealthier, or wiser. They compare their stagnant life to your evolution. They think, why does she get to be happy? This thought creates a corrosive acid in their gut. They want you to be stuck in the trauma they caused. Seeing you heal is offensive to them. It proves that their damage wasn't permanent, which means their power wasn't absolute. They suffer from supply famine. You were grade A supply. The people they have surrounded themselves with now are likely grade C, sycophants, enablers, or people too broken to leave. The narcissist knows the difference. They think, these people are idiots. They despise the very people who worship them because they are too easy to fool. They secretly miss the challenge of manipulating someone intelligent like you, even though they hated you for it at the time. They have intrusive memories. Specific triggers, a song, a smell, a location, will assault them with memories of you, unlike a normal person who might smile nostalgically. The narcissist grimaces. The memory reminds them of a time they felt powerful, highlighting how powerless they feel now. They push the thought away violently, distracting themselves with alcohol, gambling, or rage. They cannot sit with the memory because it brings the shame of failure to the surface. They wonder if you expose them. They live in fear that you have told the truth to mutual friends or the community. They think, what is he saying about me? This paranoia isolates them. They might preemptively cut off people they suspect are talking to you. They shrink their own world to avoid the contamination of your truth. They are guarding a fortress that no one is attacking, locking themselves in a prison of their own making. They feel the void expanding. Without your empathy to fill their empty core, the wind whistles through their soul. They try to fill it with material things, sex, or status, but nothing sticks. They think about you as the one person who almost filled the hole. This doesn't make them love you. It makes them hate you for showing them it was possible and then taking away. They view your empathy not as a gift, but as a drug you got them addicted to and then withheld. They engage in digital hoarding. They likely keep photos of you, not on the mantelpiece, but hidden in a digital vault. They look at these photos to study you, to remember the ownership. They think, I own that. It's like looking at a car they used to lease. It gives them a momentary hit of dopamine to remember the time they had control over such a valuable object. They are exhausted by the mask maintenance. Pretending to be happy without you is hard work. They have to act extra happy to prove a point. They think, I have to show them I'm winning. This performative happiness is draining. They secretly wish they could drop the act, but they can't risk you seeing a chink in the armor. They are slaves to the image they created to spite you. They fear the karma, even though they deny spirituality when it's convenient. Deep down, many narcissists are superstitious. They look at their bad luck, health issues, financial ruin, loneliness, and wonder if it's because of what they did to you. They think, is this payback? They quickly dismiss it, but the thought lingers in the dark hours. They fear that the universe has taken your side. Ultimately, their thoughts about you are a cycle of obsession. They love you as an object. They hate you as a traitor. They miss you as a servant. And they fear you as a truth teller. The cycle never stops. It just spins in the background, using up their RAM, slowing down their processing speed, and making them unable to fully engage with reality. You are the virus in their operating system that they cannot uninstall. But here is the final, liberating truth that you must integrate into your soul. It does not matter what they think. Their thoughts are the ravings of a disordered mind, whether they obsess over you or hate you. It is all noise and a frequency you no longer need to tune into. You spent years trying to manage their thoughts and feelings. You tried to be the perfect partner, so they would think well of you. It didn't work then, and it doesn't matter now. The fact that they are thinking about you is not a compliment. It is a pathology. Do not romanticize their obsession. They're not thinking about you because they love you. They are thinking about you because they are a parasite that misses its host. You are not a person to them. You are a meal they didn't finish. There is no honor in being missed by a predator. You have the ultimate power now, the power of indifference. While they're stuck in the mental prison of the past, replaying the tape, rewriting the script, and obsessing over the one that got away, you are out here living in the present. You are building a future. You are healing. The greatest revenge is not occupying their mind. It is evicting them from yours. Let them keep their secrets. Let them keep their delusions. Let them tell their stories to the walls. You know the truth. You lived it. You survived it. You don't need their validation, and you certainly don't need their memory of you to be accurate. You're the author of your own life now, and they are just a character you wrote out of shows seasons ago. Understand that their secret hell is their own mind. Imagine being trapped in a head that cannot love, cannot trust, and cannot let go of grudges. Imagine the exhaustion of hating someone for years simply because they want to be treated with respect. That is their punishment. You don't need to do anything. They are punishing themselves every single day they wake up as themselves. You are free. Feel the weight of that word. Free. You are free from their judgment. Free from their control. Free from the need to explain yourself. The invisible cord has been cut. If they are holding on to the frayed end, let them. You have walked away, and you are never turning back. Stop looking for signs that they care. They don't. Start looking for signs that you care about yourself. The moment you stop wondering what they are thinking is the moment you truly become untouchable. Their mind is a haunted house. Stop trying to peek through the windows. Turn around and look at the sun. You are not a snapshot. You are a living, breathing, evolving masterpiece. They are stuck worshiping a dead image of you. Let them have the ghost. You keep the life. You keep the joy. You keep the future. They will stay in the dark, obsessing over the light they lost. You are the light. Shine it on your own path. Shine it on the people who deserve it, and leave them in the shadows where they belong. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you release the need to know their thoughts, hit the like button and subscribe. Share this with a survivor who is still haunted by the what-ifs. Remind them that the narcissist mind is a trap and the door is open. Walk out. I'll see you in the next one. Stay strong.